here we go. Bolts and Hose, episode number 82 in the house.
82.
Okay, I'll go with that.
See?
All right.
Bueno.
Been a little bit under the weather the last couple of days, man. I had this head cold, and I'm hoping this whiskey opens me up.
You smell like Ricola.
It's like hot whiskey.
Yeah, a hot toddy.
Yeah. Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Old Forester. I think it's the first bottle we've ever finished. We have a lot of like.
How that
drink.
helped.
Really?
That kind of opened me up a little bit.
Yeah, you can smell again.
Yeah.
You can smell your bottom lip.
Yeah. So dreary, ugly,
Cold.
cloudy, cold day.
My
Friday.
nipples have never been this hard.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. It like hurts. They're so hard. It's painful.
That may be the shirt that you're wearing.
Maybe. No, it's just the nipples.
Yeah. Hey, I thought we'd do something different today. So we didn't have a topic. Well, we do have a topic.
We kind of
got
have
some
a topic.
parts, and we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
But you know, we don't really go over current events and news as much as I thought. So I just scoured the internet. I've got a couple websites that I'll follow that will just give me some like odd news and things like that.
Okay.
I thought it'd be interesting to talk about.
So I'm terrified to know what websites you
It's
follow.
all very honest and it's good.
Really
good stuff. Yeah.
So like church-going events. And
Well, you know, if you look at like the top news stories today, I mean, you hear California wildfires. We don't want to talk about that. That's a little bit serious topic.
I think is it a conspiracy or not?
No, it's not a conspiracy.
You don't think so?
No, the whole thing is ravaged.
They found people that were lighting fires.
Oh, well, that apparently that's like a copycat thing. Like there's fires going on and there's that much wind, people will start fires just to see what will go on. But I mean, the actual fires are legitimate. I mean, it's been dry for 8 months.
Sure. I mean, we know. It's always on fire.
It's like
out there, right?
a tinderbox out there.
Yeah, sure.
And it's 250 mile an hour Santa Ana winds. You know, you get a little bit of wind and that thing spreads like crazy.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is
okay. So there's that, and then there's the whole Trump sentencing thing this morning. Did you see that?
You know, I saw a little bit in your office.
So he was convicted. He was convicted of this whole thing. Remember the whole Stormy Daniels case, right?
Yep.
Stormy Daniels. Obviously, he paid some money to keep her quiet.
Correct.
She violated that, came back and talked about it. And so that wasn't the story, though. He didn't get convicted of anything associated with that. But apparently he didn't file paperwork on taxes and categorize that correctly. He tried to disguise it as something else. So that's what they were going after him.
Right.
It was a complete sham.
Wasn't
really,
there was multiple cases of this, or multiple convictions
there
of the
were,
same thing?
There were 8 instances in which he made,
it was like,
they were going really far.
That's why when they say it's like 30, he's got 30 cases against him, and it's only really one.
Yeah.
And just different.
And it's even a stretch at that, in my opinion.
Yep.
But, you know, if you don't like him, he's guilty as hell. And if you do like him, you know, it's nothing.
Yep.
Which, you know,
for sure.
So, not a big deal, though. But apparently he got...
So he's clear.
His sentence came down today, and everybody was speculating what was going to happen. You know, is he going to get jail time before he gets sworn in as president on the 20th?
That would have never happened.
Is he going to get a sentence that'll be commuted in 4 years from now? He'll have to serve whatever. And the judge came back, surprisingly, actually, and said, no charges.
Go
Complete
away.
Dismissal. Good luck. He actually said, Godspeed in your 4 years as president.
But so you do, it still shows up as a conviction because he was convicted.
He is
so
technically
he's still
a convicted felon.
Yeah.
Yes, technically.
Just so they can say
and that's all they want.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's a win for
sure.
them, so they can come back and say he's a convicted felon.
Without a
Yeah,
doubt.
whatever. Okay, so on to the more important news, I think, Bryce. So apparently there's a university, it's called Lake Superior State University, and in 1976 they started this trend where they would pick 10 words from the English vocabulary every year. This is New Year's, they would announce this, and release 10 words or phrases that had basically run their course and had worn out their welcome. Have you heard of this, Rachel? Okay. So the 10 words for 2025 have just dropped.
So the 10 words that we're getting rid of.
That we're getting rid of. So I thought it'd be interesting to see if you agree with
I thought you were going to make me guess a word.
The words that they are saying have been overused and overplayed, and
I like it.
That we as a society need to banish these words.
Let's
from our
go.
vocabulary.
I like it.
Okay, all right, here we go. So the first one is cringe.
Cringe.
They're
getting rid of that? No.
So when you say things like "that makes me cringe," that's acceptable. But when you say, "Bryce, your Texan shirt is so cringe,"
well, I think
that's what they're saying is not acceptable.
What about if you say that's cringe-worthy?
I don't think that's acceptable either.
What?
That's very annoying.
No, that has to
When somebody
stay.
says cringeworthy.
Yeah, it's cringeworthy. It makes it's cringeworthy.
Do you guys agree with that? Rachel, do you agree with that? Cringe needs to go.
Cringe.
It needs
Yeah.
to stay.
No, when you say, like, that makes me cringe, that's fine. That's an acceptable use. But when you say, JB, your hat, that is so cringe.
Well, when you say it like that, you sound like a douche. But you can say like, that's cringeworthy. You know, like,
Or is that an acceptable thing to say? Hey, that's so cringeworthy.
no, but like that situation was cringeworthy. Like it made me kind of.
You sound like a douche when you say that. I am in 100%
right, so we're split.
agreement.
We're
Yes,
split.
that word needs to go.
We're split.
Okay,
I
all
like
right.
the word
The
cringe.
next
I'm using it more
one, the
often.
next one, I think Bryce uses a lot actually. So he is going to debate this. It is a game changer. A game changer. That one needs to go as well. Like everything's
Why?
a game changer.
Not everything.
Because
if it's a game changer,
because you
then-
say it about everything.
I do not say it.
If everything
Do I
is a
say
game
it?
changer, then nothing is a game changer.
No, I'm with you, but if it changes the game, then it's a game changer. So like a big play is a game changer. It changes the game.
And you know, I feel like it's run its course, and it
do
had
I say
value.
that a lot, really?
It had value in 2024.
You think I say it a lot? You don't think I say it a lot?
However, I'm just saying in 2025, let's pick another word. Let's pick another word instead of saying, "Hey, it's a game changer, man." This is a game changer.
I think the fact that we're going to keep that word on there is a game changer.
Okay, all right. So I think we're split again on this one. All right. Okay, here's a good one. Era.
Like we're in the
Yes.
the Trump era now.
It's like, and it was kind of popularized by
Era.
Taylor Swift, right? With the whole Eras tour and all that, right? So that's where in 2024 everything was. I'm in my Grammy
I
era.
guess it's how-
I'm in my whatever era.
So all of these words are how you put it in context, right? I think
Yes.
if you're in like if
no,
we're
but
in-
we're talking specifically about the one context, the annoying one.
the annoying one, but you can't say like in this era, like in the last 20 years, you can call that an era.
That's an acceptable way to use it.
Okay,
But when you start saying,
Yeah,
I'm in my TRX era.
in my Bolt era. Like
Yeah.
I think I'm with you there.
Okay.
I agree
All right.
with you there.
100%.
It's a
Jamie, you in with this?
I only caught the tail end.
All right.
Yeah, Jamie
All right.
always catches
The next
tail.
word is a good one, I think, is dropped.
I love it.
Like-
it's one of my drop the album.
This
today.
new album just
Yeah,
dropped.
Love it.
This is
That should
you know,
stay forever.
This
It's
is
a good
terrible.
one.
Dropped.
It's
It's
like
just
a new whiskey dropped today. I'm gonna go pick it up.
that sounded terrible. when
Oh
you
my
just
god, I
said it.
love it. That's such a good
Just
word.
say, hey, this is an awesome new whiskey just came out.
No,
You
came
don't have
out
to say
sounds
this whiskey
so
dropped.
perverted. You sound
That
like
sounds
you
awful.
you always want to come out.
What do you think, JB?
I think it could be dropped.
It's got to go.
Dropped is dropped.
I think drop could be
Yeah.
Oh, I vote yes. I vote keep it in the
All right.
in the dictionary.
Let me drop the next one then.
No, see what'd you
All right.
just say?
That was intentional.
I know.
Okay, the next one is IYKYK.
Get out of here.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, get out of here. I'm done.
IYKYK. We're
Bye.
done with that, right?
Yeah, bye.
We're not using that
I just
anymore.
the whole letters things I don't like. Like
Yeah.
my kids always text me like RN
Yeah.
right now.
Well, in text, it might be acceptable.
WIT.
Yeah.
Or WIA.
In an email, or if if
No,
somebody
get outta
just
here.
says the letters, yeah, not good.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
IDGAF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's old too.
All right, here's another one. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I'm done with it. Bye.
Yeah. Don't say it anymore. Sorry, not sorry.
That's terrible.
Because
Sorry, not sorry.
Because it's an apology, but it's not a sincere apology, right? You don't mean it.
No,
when
you're
you say
sorry, you're not sorry. So
sorry.
yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
shut your mouth.
So-
you should be smacked in the face if you say that. Sorry, not sorry.
That is so 2024.
Yes.
Okay, we got a few more.
Yes.
This one I didn't know. I don't even know the reference to this, but it's called skibbity. Skibbity. SKIBIDI.
Skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet, yeah, or skibbity
Got
Riz.
toys about that now.
I
Yeah.
Googled it. I had never heard of
My
it.
kids use it.
Skibbity Ohio something, Riz Ohio or something.
Riz.
Jamie, have you ever heard of this? Skibbity.
My
I
kids
don't
use it. I came home and said,
So I don't have to worry about dropping that one. I've already dropped
Yeah,
it.
you don't even know what it means.
Yeah.
So you can't
So
use
not
it.
using that.
They even got that show on
Okay, here's one. Here's one that Bryce uses a lot, and they are suggesting at Lake Superior State University to drop this word for 2025. 100%. Bryce says that 1,000 times a day.
So I have actually
100%.
a group of my friends make fun of me all the time for saying that.
Well, it's official. There's actually a body of people a long way away from
I
us
understand that.
have
I
gotten
do.
together and suggested that we get rid of that.
I will.
100%.
It's something that I'm not proud of, but I can't shake. So we
When
gotta
I
keep
read
it on
this,
there.
I started laughing. I said, this is Bryce.
100%. That is 100% is definitely my shit. Without a
Okay,
doubt.
we're in agreement on that one.
But
Okay.
no, we keep it.
Here's another one. Okay, you can keep
Yeah,
it.
I have to keep it.
Utilize.
Okay,
Utilize.
use it in like an inappropriate way.
No, it's not inappropriate.
Or
it's
an
just
unacceptable
like,
way.
You should talk or even write the way that you talk, right? So you don't say utilize. You might put that in an email, but you're never going to tell somebody that when you're talking to them.
No, I want to utilize your skills. Like
You would never say that
I
to me,
would.
though. You would write
If
that
I
in an
needed,
email.
If I needed,
Chris, I would like to utilize your skills.
Hey,
You would
there goes that
never
voice
say
again.
that,
There goes
ever.
that voice. Is that what I sound like?
Yes. No, you would say, I would like to use your skills. Or I would
No,
like
I
to
wanna
use you for a
utilize
second. Hey,
your
come here a
skills.
second, help me out.
I would like to
There are
utilize.
other words. You would never say that. You're stretching, you're reaching right now. Okay, moving on. The last one. Period. Like, do you really have to say the punctuation at the end?
Oh, I thought we were talking
Period?
about something different.
No, it's another word. The last one. Period.
So period is in what?
Yes. Period.
Like punctuation?
Like, I don't think we should do this. Period.
I don't know. I mean, if you really want your point to get across, you say it. Period.
So Bryce likes all of these. He's
Not
not,
all of them.
He's not
I'm-
getting rid of any of them.
I'm getting rid of like
100%.
100% stand put. Stand put 100%. We're not getting rid of 100%.
Okay, those are the words. Cringe, game changer, era, dropped. If you know, you know. IYKYK.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yep. Bye.
Skibbity Bryce.
Bye.
100%.
It's keeping forever.
100%. Utilize.
Keeping.
And period.
Period. I mean,
Yeah.
period's a weird word to say.
Yeah, I know. Yes. Yeah. So that was it. The 10 words.
Yeah. That was fun.
So I wrote down some other stuff. You want to hear them?
Sure.
Okay, news articles, weird stuff. 2 guys in Washington went looking for Sasquatch. Did you hear about this?
Nope.
So
I don't read the news
They
hardly.
died of exposure in the woods. They went out, 2 guys.
How'd they die?
Before Christmas, went out. They were supposed to be back Christmas Eve. They went out in the Washington wilderness looking for Bigfoot.
So how they die?
Exposure. It was cold, snowy, raining. The winds was up, and they died of exposure. I don't know. Maybe they got lost. I don't know.
That's weird.
But the 2 guys died looking for Bigfoot.
That's weird. I mean, there's something else to that story.
No, I've read it in multiple sources. Multiple
Really? I
locations,
mean,
yeah.
who 2 grown men go out in terrible weather?
You know,
and
maybe that was their excuse to get away from their wives. Maybe they wanted to go out camping. I don't know.
Then go
I don't
like
know.
to a bar. Or
I
something,
thought that because who goes out looking for Bigfoot?
I mean, I guess if you're like, hey, let's go out and look for Bigfoot, and you're going out to screw around, but
It's a sad story. I mean, because there's obviously 2 families of grieving.
Sure.
But a little
it's just
bit
weird. Something
crazy.
else is going on.
Think?
I think the wives killed him.
Have you ever gone out looking for Bigfoot?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Every Saturday night, I'm looking for Bigfoot. You know, I think it is fun to go out in the woods and look for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you go out in the woods and just look, don't you?
Did you hear about Scotty Scheffler? Did you hear this? I didn't know this. I was just looking for news and I found this. Scotty Scheffler, arguably the best golfer in the world.
Not arguably. Is.
Okay.
Yep.
Over Christmas, there was some issue with a broken glass. Gets it in his hand. He has to have surgery to get the glass removed.
Really?
He missed out on this tournament that he was supposed to play in while he's recovering. And
I did not hear about that.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
Sucks for him.
Yeah.
How about this? Have you seen the indoor golf courses that Tiger and Rory built?
No.
They just had a tournament this week. It is the coolest shit ever. It's going to take over golf.
Indoor?
Indoor. So you
But an
drive
actual-
you drive into a simulator.
Oh.
Okay. But wait, it's in like a big arena. You drive into a simulator, and then it's like 100 yards in. You have there's 15 holes in here, like in this building, and you have to like chip and putt on an actual surface. It is badass. It is the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's going to take over.
I haven't
golf.
seen it, but I don't think that's going to
It's
catch
cool
on
as
at
shit.
all. No.
It is cool. All the pros
There's
are like,
something about a course and the green
Oh, I'm with you.
manicured.
I'm with you.
yeah,
That's
the
cool to be
greens
outside.
And the crowds lining the
But
courses.
Top
and
Golf
all that.
took over because it's easy and you don't have to like go out and you play indoor golf, dude. It's going to, I think it's going to attract a lot of
I'm
people.
going to reserve my opinion on that. I'll have
It's cool
to see
shit.
it. Yeah.
It really is.
Let's see it.
It really is.
Oh, well, I've got others written down here, but I don't want to go into them based on what we just said. But the last one, so it's been floated out there by our future and illustrious leader that we should acquire Greenland, make Canada our 51st state, and take back the Panama Canal. What's your position on that?
So I don't know much about the Greenland thing.
So Greenland,
And
there's about 30,000 people that live on the continent of Greenland. It's about as big as the U.S. as far as landmass,
Right.
and there's about 30,000 people that live on it.
Right.
And there's not a whole lot of resistance there, and they're owned by Denmark, basically.
Right.
And Denmark claims the territory. But from a national security perspective, with its proximity to Russia and
Sure.
transatlantic type activity, it would be in our national interest to take that over.
I guess. I mean,
So the thought is you could pick it up pretty cheap. You could just
Sure.
buy it. And the people of Greenland would probably welcome
probably
it,
love it,
because being a U.S. territory has its benefits, right?
okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the Canadian thing actually makes even more sense.
51st state, yeah.
They say we spend like billions of dollars
$2.5 billion is what we give Canada
a year
And,
for
you know,
to
Trump,
like manage the borders.
Trump allegedly asked Trudeau what would happen if we didn't give that $2.5 billion.
They would fold.
Canada would go bankrupt.
Yeah,
It would go
they'd be
away.
done.
And he said, well, why don't you guys just become our 51st state? So it's interesting, right?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. There's a lot of cool stuff up there. It'd
Yeah.
be fun to be able to go up there, no passport, run around.
You know, I mean, they're making a lot of products up there that come
Yeah.
into the U.S. and we pay a lot of taxes on that stuff.
For sure.
And then there's a lot of issues with the border going back and forth. It would certainly make it easier.
Yeah, I think that's a cool idea.
Can you imagine a scenario where the U.S., as we've always known it, now includes Canada and Greenland?
I mean,
be
it wouldn't
interesting.
affect your daily life at all, though. Like, that's why I mean,
Right.
it makes sense from a financial standpoint, from a national security standpoint, I
But
guess.
think about your kids and your kids' kids.
But how is it going to affect them? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have Alaska up there, but I've never been. It doesn't matter if we have Alaska. Like, it's just, yeah, that's cool. That's part of the United States. You know, it doesn't make, it doesn't make a difference.
If you
to
think
me.
about it, though, there's so many other countries out there that have aspirations of gaining more land and conquering more territories. And the U.S. has none of that mentality, right? We have no desire to go out and take over or acquire more land.
Sure.
Natural
Till now.
resources, all this sort of thing. You think about the minerals and things that exist within Greenland. There's probably things that would create batteries and
Sure.
lithium and
Yeah.
all those sorts of things.
Probably.
It would be in your national interest to take advantage of that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
And
I'm not
other
opposed to
countries think that way, which we do not. Which
'Cause we
is
have-
it such a bad idea that you consider the idea of thinking that way?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think, I'm just, it doesn't matter to me.
I think it's interesting.
The Panama Canal thing is.
I think it'd be awesome for us to take over Canada and then take over Greenland. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I'm down.
And I'm all for taking over Panama Canal as well.
So we helped build the Panama Canal.
We basically built the Panama Canal.
Right. I mean, we
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
It was
a
started
critical-
by France in the 1880s, and then they stopped because it was too difficult.
It was one of the Roosevelt. It was FDR.
And then
Or Teddy.
Teddy. Theodore Roosevelt came in 1903
And finished.
and said, "Hey, we're going to take this over. We're going to do it." And then 10 years later, it opened in 1914, I think.
And the whole purpose was it cannot be used for any bad.
Well, when the U.S. signed an agreement with Panama at the time, and then we took over not only Panama Canal but also the zone around the Panama Canal. So we owned it. We operated it. We owned it. We supported it. We fixed it. All that sort of thing. And then in 1979, Carter came along and he signed an agreement and basically sold it to Panama for $1, and it went back, and the U.S. has no control over it.
But there's a treaty that's signed that it can't be used for any like military purposes. It can't be like stopped for any reason.
Sure.
You know, like there are rules to it. So I just don't. I mean, I don't understand if we take it over. I mean, I think it should be governed by someone.
You know,
that has.
It is
you
a
know,
huge trading route,
For sure.
and U.S. utilizes it a lot, right?
For
Because
sure.
otherwise, you'd have to go 8,000 kilometers out of the
Yep.
way to get around
Yep.
the Horn of South America.
Yep.
And we're charged lots of money for using that port, even though we built it. And China, it has a presence in the canal because there's so much traffic that goes there. So they can help control what goes in and out. They're on both sides of that canal.
But that's the thing is like they shouldn't be. So that's the problem, right?
Exactly.
So that's the
So
problem.
that's the argument.
But
To
like-
say that the U.S. takes it back over, then you have complete autonomy, and the U.S. controls it completely.
But then we control it, and you know, like,
But we don't control it right now.
so I'm not opposed of controlling it, but like we're doing the same thing that we don't want someone else to do.
I think it all
know-
goes.
you know what
It
I'm
all
saying?
goes back to: is it in your national interest to do it?
I mean,
And
sure,
you,
if China-
you could easily make the argument that we have as much claim to it as anyone.
I'm not arguing that point.
And you're not saying you send your military down there and take it over, but you come up with an agreement to buy it, purchase it, control it again,
But do you think?
upgrade it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think it just should be a fair international
Yeah,
trade
and nobody's
route.
suggesting we send in the military to take over Greenland or
Right.
Canada either. It's just, but if
Do
you
it
can,
the
from an
right way.
economic standpoint, if you can make it beneficial for both sides and create a better situation for everybody.
Yeah.
Because Canada would probably benefit from being a part of the U.S.
For sure, absolutely.
And the U.S. would definitely benefit. There's more oil in Alberta than there is in the U.S.
Right.
There's more oil in Alberta
But it's-
than there is in the entire U.S.
But it's harder to refine, right? I
Yeah,
think so.
there are the oil sands, which is very difficult to find. But there's easy oil as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm not
you can
opposed to
drill it.
any of it. I'm not opposed to any of it. I think it's all, you know, it's rock and roll.
It'll make an interesting next 4 years.
It's going to be wild. I think there's going to be there's going to be the most changes in the next 4 years than there's been probably in the last 20 years.
I think it'll be more changes in the next 6 months.
Yeah. You ain't lying.
Yeah. 3 months.
Ain't lying.
So is that enough current events and topics?
Yeah, I think so.
That's interesting.
It is. A lot of
Yeah.
good topics.
Yeah.
I like the words.
You do?
I think
Skibbity?
I just think it's bullshit. Like a group of people are now just saying that there's words that we gotta get
So
rid
I
of.
read a little bit about the history of this. Apparently, there's this one guy. His name was Rube, I think, or something like
So
that.
number one, you got to get rid
And
of
I
the
think
name Rube.
I think they were all drunk at a New Year's Eve party in 1976, and they came up with this informally. They circulated it, and then apparently when he retired, the university took it over as like a formal deal. So it's a little bit lighthearted, but they've been doing it
For so
the
long,
last
yeah.
almost 50 years.
People kind of pay attention
Yeah.
to it. I'm with it.
So almost 50 years they've been doing this. So, you know, who ever heard of Lake Superior State University?
Not I.
Right. But
I.
they've got this little thing that they do, and it's kind of interesting.
That is fun.
And it makes the news.
So you want to talk parts?
Let's do it.
So there's a lot of 12 points running right now. I don't know if you've noticed this.
I have noticed it, yeah.
There's a lot of metric B16 12 points. They're everywhere,
Yep.
different sizes. So I just grabbed one. So this is one of the things I was curious about. Why the different head styles? So a 12 point, it's kind of a pain in the ass to make, right? I mean, if you're forging it, it's just a different die. But when we're making it, it's kind of a pain. I mean, you got to drill, mill. I mean, it's just a very tedious task. So why would you use a 12-point head?
What I've always heard is that you'll get a higher surface area. So the point contact of those 12 heads are larger than what the wrench connecting on two sides of a 6-point head. And you can generate higher amounts of torque without concern of damaging the head, stripping the corners,
Yep.
shearing off the head, that sort of thing. So the 12-point is very robust, and it's generally used on larger diameters, heavier pressure equipment, things where you're trying to generate a larger amount of torque.
But then also a lot
You're
of
going to tell me
smaller
I'm
parts.
wrong. You've
No,
found
that,
something.
no, that is true. I think
Okay.
that's kind of the consistency, right? And that's why they use it. But also it's a smaller head, and it fits into into holes, and it's easier to get a tool down there as
Yeah, I
opposed
agree with
to
that,
a hex.
Yeah, and if you're a flange designer and you're trying to maximize the surface area of bolting relative to the diameter that the bolt circle is on, if you can fit more and larger diameter bolts
Yep.
within that same circle, you're going to generate more bolt load because you're taking the surface area of the root diameter of the bolt, multiplying that times the number of the bolts, you're coming up with a total surface area of bolting, and that's going to tell you how much available load that you're able to get out of those bolts.
And I think it's like because you're thinking about it from a big flange connection. But a lot of times they're using like car parts, they're using aerospace. I mean, there's just a lot of where they need to be able to get into a tight corner and create a lot of torque.
And maybe on some of those applications too, you're trying to save on weight. And if you've got 1,000 of these bolts, you know, if you're able to produce a smaller head, that may not seem like a whole lot, but that small amount multiplied over the 1,000 bolts that are in that would probably add up to be a substantial amount of weight.
So I have another one here. So we haven't drilled this socket. Here, first off, let's do this. What size is that? Nice 12 point.
I'm going to say it is an M16.
And M16 is correct.
Really?
Yeah, M16. I didn't get the length of this, but it is an M16.
I was going to say M12, and I knew it was bigger than ½ inch or 12. And there's no such thing as an M14. Or that's got to be really rare. Really rare.
Yep.
So M16 is my guess.
M16 12 point. Now here's the cool part too. Here, let's just go to this because this is what we're making the nuts for all these 12 points. We're actually making 12 point nuts as well.
Right there. There you go.
So this is. Do you know the size of that? What size do you think that is?
That is going to be
All up in the way.
a 10 millimeter.
It's an M12. It's an M12.
So close to a ½ inch.
Close to a ½ inch. Yep. And so again, B16. So these are going with some other 12 points that we're making. So I think it's the same principle, right? As opposed to a hex nut. Why they use that?
Yeah.
So B16, M12. What is that? A 1.75?
No, I think you're right. I think when it has to do with nesting the bolts closer together, that's probably more of an important feature than the amount of torque that you can get on it. Yeah.
But you know,
And instead of using a wrench, you're able to use a smaller walled socket in order to get over that bolt. Yeah.
Yep. And then you have a different head type. So this hasn't been drilled or broached yet, but this is a flat head. Why would they use a flat head?
A flathead, you're going to have a countersunk hole right there, so that when you tighten it, this is going into a countersunk recess, and so when you tighten it, the head of this is going to be below the surface of your flange.
Yep. But you generally can't get a whole lot of torque on this bad boy. It's more for fastening, right?
You know, when you put a hex in there, you're able to generate a tremendous amount of load with
But
the hex. If you want.
If you're screwing this into, tightening it down into something that has a countersunk hole.
Yeah, you're generally fastening things together. You're not going to generate load for a clamped bolted joint to put a load on a gasket per se.
Check out that one. Hold it in your hand. What is it?
Is it titanium?
It is.
Is it? Yeah. Anytime you tell me to hold it,
That was kind of a dead giveaway.
it's going to be titanium.
What size is that?
This is going to be, this is not metric, right?
Not metric.
That is going to be, man, that is going to be ½ inch? Don't tell me, 9/16.
9/16.
9/16.
Correct.
See, I was hesitant to say it because that's such an odd diameter.
Yep.
But I knew it was a little bit larger than a ½ inch.
9/16 by, guess a length.
1 1/4.
So here's the kicker though, when you measure a flathead, it's overall length.
Oh, right. Okay. So we'll say 1.5 inches.
1.5 inches.
Yeah.
Good job. Well
1.5
done.
inches.
So titanium grade 7. That's another kind of wild part about that.
We haven't,
grade 7.
we haven't done the internal hex on it yet.
We have not broached it yet. But that one, I think this might be the first time we've ever ran titanium grade 7. We've run grade 2, grade 5, grade 11, or maybe it's grade 12, but we've never ran grade 7, I don't think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So Freddie's running those right now.
I'm always
Pretty
thinking.
wild, huh?
I'm always thinking about that little splash shot. You know, that screen that we put on the top, and thinking
And
I'm
how
always
to do
like
it.
put some in your mouth or something like that, or up your nose,
That's definitely going to make.
and then I take that picture and make that our screenshots. I'm always thinking about which one I'm going to
You
use.
put a hat on me.
Yeah, there was one last week. I don't know if you noticed, but you were eating a cookie, and I grabbed the picture of you had with the cookie in your mouth
See, why don't you ever do this to you?
because I'm the one that's editing.
I want to edit this week.
Good luck. Go ahead.
Like
Go
a
ahead.
jerk.
I'd be happy for you to edit these things, right?
Fucking jerk. You want to come say hi, John? No. Sounds good.
John looks like an extra in The Deadliest Catch today.
Come on, come say hello, John. Come show everyone your nice hat. Keeping your head warm.
Or Red Fox from Sanford's side.
There's some legal issues. I'm just going to stay out of it.
Yeah. They'll all know where to find you if you put your face on the internet.
Everything's out there, man.
And we did talk about
John
last
keeps a
week,
low profile.
getting censored on YouTube, and I think that would probably be an issue if we put John on.
You think they scaled back the algorithm?
Yo, for
You think
sure.
they did?
Did you see it? We went from 12 views to 9.
Oh my gosh.
I watched
It was
it.
devastating.
I watched
I
the
know.
last one.
I don't think your view
I
counted.
think it was a strong effort.
Yeah, you
Strong.
liked it, huh? Good. Thanks for watching, John. Appreciate your support.
I'm one of the 9.
One of the 9.
And then Bryce's mom and my mom.
My mom watched it 8 times.
Let's go for double digits.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
All right. Well, that wraps up
All right.
episode 82.
Here's wishing you better weather for the rest of the weekend,
I mean,
Bryce.
it's supposed to be sunny soon,
Yeah.
so UT tonight. UT, Ohio
UT
State.
in Ohio up in Texas Stadium.
It's gonna be
Arlington.
cold. They said
Do
they're
they
on
still call it Texas Stadium?
AT&T.
Okay. But do they call it Texas Stadium? They just call it AT&T Stadium.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, AT&T bought the rights. Who are you picking, UT or Ohio State?
I'm going to say UT.
So it's gonna be you're thinking next weekend UT and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a bad pick. I think Ohio State looked really good last week. It's gonna be a good game. I'm excited.
Texas is looking strong this year, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah. How about tomorrow? You're not a Texans fan, but the Houston Texans are playing the Chargers.
That's a tough one. I know everybody is full-blood Texans fan here, but I think the Chargers may win this one.
So listen to this. Chargers are a 3.5-point favorite.
Yep. They're playing
On the
at
road.
home.
No, they're on the road.
Yeah.
So the road team is the favorite, which they say in the NFL, home team has a 3-point advantage every time.
Yep.
So they're saying the Chargers are a 6.5-point favorite over the Texans. That's a big deal in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
And they got a good team, man.
So
got a good team.
I have a bet with Danny. Did I tell you the bet?
No.
I didn't tell you the bet? So Danny made a bet. He thinks the Texans are going to lose. So if the Texans lose, I have to shave in a mustache and keep it there for 2 weeks. Okay?
Wait, shave your mustache, leave the beard?
No. I have to shave in the mustache. So get rid of everything except for the mustache.
Okay. All right.
So 2 weeks, I have to rock a mustache.
Okay.
If the Texans win, Danny has to not shave his entire face for a month. And
Okay.
my boy can only grow hair here and here.
Have you run this by Erica?
No, she's not gonna be happy.
Yeah. She is going to be upset. I don't think Danny can go 2 weeks. With
So let's go Texans.
Just leave it
to
on the
us.
couch.
And you got to come on. So next week, you have to come on the
He's gonna
podcast and
take me
show
like
your
3 weeks.
face.
It's gonna take me to 3 weeks for you to know it.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to show the beginning, and then after 4 weeks, we'll bring you on and show.
Or we're going to have Bryce with a mustache.
Or-
So are you just going to do like the Hitler mustache? Or are you going to do like
I think I'll do a little
the
Fu Manchu. I'll do like.
Or is it like the redneck down
Yeah,
here?
I'll
the
probably do like
handlebars?
the Fu
I think you should
Manchu.
do the handlebars.
I am. I'm gonna do handlebars.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Yeah,
So that'll be. We'll see what happens.
you little scraggly ass mustache.
I know I have the worst mustache. That's what we were joking about. I was like, I have the worst mustache.
Little bald
on the planet.
spots
I
in
know
there.
it's everywhere. Well, I have all these different color hairs. I have like 18 different hair colors in there.
Charger.
He looks like somebody 19 years old is trying to grow a beard.
So what? We're not all blessed with all the white hair all over your face like you.
Hey, easy.
All that
He
white
just
ass
came
hair
in
all
like
over-
ripping the jugular.
What do you mean? You
didn't
came
even hold back.
You were telling me I got a 19-year-old mustache, patchy mustache.
This is a sore subject with Bryce. You got picked
No,
on.
I know
You got picked on in high
I
school.
know my mustache game is weak. I wish I had a better mustache. I'm jealous of Tom
I
Selleck.
think your mustache. looks
Speaking of
great.
that, JB's got a caterpillar rocking on top of his lip, man. That thing is, that's a fly ass mustache.
I like it.
Yeah.
Was that? Did you lose a bet there, JB, or what?
Yeah, I did lose the bet.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, fuck the Colts.
What was the bet?
They were making playoffs and the Texans wouldn't.
Oh.
That's where
That's what it is.
Yeah. So you're rocking the mustache. For how long?
For the whole month.
Oh.
I mean, like,
It's growing on me. I think you should keep it.
I know, I kind of
it.
like it.
Yeah.
You got a good mustache.
my wife won.
Really? Flavor saver, baby. Nobody watches at this point anyway. So.
True. Okay, let's wrap it up.
Okay, adios. Have a good weekend.
Have a good one, guys.
Bolton, ho!
See ya.